Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. For those that thought I had forgotten about this league since I started the NBC Game of the Week, that is not the case. I had just finished playing through 90 games, which is the 1/3 mark of the season. So I thought I'd take a quick breather and regroup, reset myself, and get ready to go. So I can start doing some more videos during the week of this. We are now starting Series 7, as Series 6 is in the books. That's 90 games, as each team has now played 18 games. 10 teams in the league, 18 games with 180 teams, but you play them against each other, cut it in half, makes it 90. So we're at game 91, which is the first game or first matchup in Series 7. The Arizona Diamondbacks travel to Citi Field to take on the New York Mets. And so I'm going to try to use the same or the similar setup that I used for the NBC Game of the Week 1986. And so this may be the first one of the Demolition League that I'm setting up this way, where I have the benches, bullpens, and starting lineups for both teams. Also, of course, naturally have the score sheet as well. This is Series 7, Matchup 1, Game 1 of Matchup 1. Game number 91, and the replay date is May 3rd, 2015. All right, starting pitchers for the Diamondbacks, it'll be Josh Collmenter. This is his final start, and then he will move to the bullpen after this. And just recently off the injured list, or AAA list, whatever you want to call it, Noah Syndergaard making his first start of the season for the Mets. And Dylan G got sent down to the minors. So Cindergaard's making his first start. Of course, he has no record. Injury check for the starting pitchers. They're both 0-1, which means a 6-12 for either one would generate a check of an injury. And speaking of injuries, we go to our injury report for both these teams. And David Peralta of the Diamondbacks is going to miss 2 more games, so that's why he's not listed and not showing. For the Mets, David Wright has 1 more game left of an injury, and so does Wilmer Flores. So that's why they're not there. Dilson Herrera got called up to take the place of Wright. And Tejada will play short in the absence of Flores. And Murphy will move from second to third base to cover that. So there's your starting lineup. Did have one little snafu. I did have Ceciliani here, but I had to change that and use Munoz because Munoz is an infielder. And with the injuries to Wright and Flores, I had too many outfielders, not enough infielders. So Munoz would come in. He can play second base and third base. I do not have a card for him, but I do have him up on the computer. So if it gets to an emergency, I've got his numbers there. So, but I did need to have an extra infielder in case I wanted to pinch hit for Herrera or Tejada or Murphy or one of them got hurt. So we need to have that flexibility. All right, like I said, I do have the game up on the computer, so I can give you the updated season stats through the 18 games for each team. Of course, Cindergard does not have any stats because, again, this is his debut. On the 2015 season, however, he was 9-7 with a 3.24 ERA and 24 starts, so 1/3 of the league, so he should get 8 starts this year. That's the goal, is to start him 8 times. And let's see, we've played 18 games. Each team gets 54, so 36 games remaining. Get him 8 starts in 36 games. That shouldn't be that difficult. That's almost 1 every 4. So we're getting right there. He may have to skip a start, but again, he could roll an injury as well, so that could factor into that. So Noah Syndergaard is your pitcher. And leading things off for the Diamondbacks, as you can see to the right there, got the little pawns to tell you who's at bat and all that good stuff. It is going to be Ender Inciarte, and let me make sure that these cards fit in all the way. Looks like they're very close. I may have to put this up here a little bit higher. Okay. So I think we're fitting in there now. All right, Inciarte steps in hitting .297, no homers and 7 runs driven in 64 at-bats. And Series 7, Matchup 1, Game 1, now underway. Cindergard, his first pitch of the season. It's a 5-8, and that's going to be a fly to center. And put away easily by Lagares, 1 down. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Nick Ahmed. And Ahmed on the replay is hitting a lowly 170. 2 homers, 6 runs driven in. They've got him in the number 2 spot today because of the fact they don't have Peralta, who would normally hit 2. So they moved Ahmed up to 2. And see if that will maybe spur him on a little bit. Syndergaard 5-7 against a righty, struck him out, so that didn't help Ahmed's case any at all. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt. And Goldschmidt hitting .333, 3 homers, 10 driven in 63 at-bats. 6-4, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Tejada. Tejada's a 3. Remember, this is advanced only. 3 and a 2, that's a base hit. So a single for Paul Goldschmidt, 2-out single for Paul Goldschmidt, and he is aboard. And this could be a little bit tight fit here with all this. I may have too many things sitting here. I may have to move this bullpen thing to the left. There was a little bit of a glare here, so I was trying to use the bullpen thing to kind of clear the glare, but that may not be feasible. So I may just have to do it this way. In fact, I may just put the bullpen up here and bring it in when it's needed. Just so you can see who's in the bullpen in case you weren't paying attention to it earlier. The standard 5 right-handers, 2 lefties for each team. Hernandez, Delgado, Reed, Hudson, Ziegler from the right side, Chafin and Perez from the left. For the Mets, Cadaire, Carlos Torres, Robles, Logan Verrett, Familia from the right-hand side, Sean Gilmartin, and Alex Torres from the left side. So that's where we'll be going with that. So Goldschmidt getting the base hit on that ball that got by Tejada. So 2-out single for Goldschmidt. He is an A stealer. The catcher in this case, Darno, is a 0 arm. A stealer starts as a 15, -2 for being held as a 13. 1-13. Do they want to try it? Pollock is coming up, but they want to get him in scoring position. 1-13, he will steal second. And he's got caught stealing. So Goldschmidt is caught stealing, and that's going to end the inning. Pollock will have to wait until the second inning for his next at-bat. As Dilson Herrera put on the tag, and that's going to end the top of the first. D-backs come out empty. Try to get aggressive, and it just didn't pay off. And now we go to the bottom of the first. It's Arizona 0, and the Mets coming to bat. And Josh Collmenter is your pitcher. And on the replay, Josh Collmenter is 2-1 with a 2.16 ERA, 17 innings pitched, 15 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And he'll be dealing with Curtis Granderson, right fielder. Granderson checks in, hitting a lowly 197. He does have 5 homers and 10 runs driven in 61 at-bats. But the Mets are hoping he can get his average up a little bit, get on base more. 6'11", 6'12" is the injury check, but 6'11" is a base hit. No ballpark singles to worry about because it's advanced only. So Curtis Granderson, the Grandy man, can. And he gets a leadoff single for the Mets. He is a C stealer, which is an okay thing, but may not try to run. He starts as a 13, being held -3 makes him a 10. +2 from from Saltamlakia makes him a 12, but with Murphy and Cadaire and Duda coming up, I think they're going to let Granderson just be held on and stay there. And we'll see what Murphy can do, who's playing third base as he moved over from second because of the injury to David Wright. He's hitting .273, 2 homers, 9 runs driven in, and 66 at-bats. That's a 4-11, and that's going to be a fly to left. Hauled in out there by Trumbo. Interesting thing is Trumbo's days in Seattle are numbered, as he is about to get traded shortly to Seattle. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure I don't overuse Trumbo with Arizona. Make sure he gets plenty of chances to be with Seattle. So I'll look at the games played for each team and divvy those up appropriately. So I'm not sure how much longer Trumbo will be in Arizona before he gets traded. All right, here is Michael Cadaire. He's in left field. Cadaire hitting .278, no homers, 5 driven in. That's a .511 against a righty. It's a ground ball first base X. That's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is a 1. 1 and a 2. But in the 1 range, he's always going to get there. Is it a double play is the question. Yes, it is. 1 and a 2 is a ground ball A, so that's a 3-6-3 double play. And that will take care of the Mets here in the first inning as Cadaire hits into the twin killing. 3-6-3 will do it. At the end of 1, no score from Citi Field. And I have to type these in the computer as we go. All right, so Cindergard hoping he was going to get some run support in that first inning, but it didn't happen. We start at the top of the second with A.J. Pollock. He was at bat when Goldschmidt was caught stealing. Pollock on the replay, hitting .382. 3 homers and 9 driven in and 55 at bats. One of the league's leading hitters. 1-5 for Pollock, and that's a single, so maybe they should not have sent Goldschmidt. But they were trying to get him in scoring position because had he made a stolen base, a single like that would have scored him. But in this case, Pollock gets the base hit. Now he's a double-A stealer, so that's a whole different ball game. He starts as a 17. Minus 2 for is a 15. And d'Arnaud's a 0. So it's a 1-15, so Pollock's definitely going to go. And he makes it. So stolen base for Pollock as he steals second base. Gets himself into scoring position with nobody out. For the third baseman, Jake Lamb. He's getting better. He's up to 127. He was under 100 not that long ago, but he's up to 127 now. No homers, 3 runs driven in. Pollock will be held on second base. That's a 6-10 against the lefty. That is a fly to center. It's a C, so that Pollock cannot move up. As Zagaris puts it away for out number 1. So unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, they could not advance the runner. That'll bring up Trumbo, and like I said, his days in Arizona are getting to be numbered. He's not a very good outfielder. 5 and an E9, so not too good, but they need his bat, or hope they get his bat. Trumbo on the replay hitting only .214, but he does have 4 homers and 5 runs driven in. 4-7, and that's a strikeout, so that's something Trumbo does quite a bit. So Trumbo with the whiff. 2 down, and that's going to send up Chris Owings, second baseman. Pollock still stuck at second base. Owings hitting only $1.25, 1 homer, 2 runs driven in. It's a 2-6, and that's a pop out to short, and they leave Pollock at second base. So the D-backs come away empty. Syndergard pitches around the leadoff single, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score from Citi Field. And now the Mets will see if they can get some runs off of Mr. Collmenter. They'll start with Lucas Duda, first baseman. Duda on the replay is hitting $127, 2 homers, 7 driven in. And I am recording this on a Saturday morning. I'll be doing the Game of the Week live here shortly. But this recording on Saturday morning will get posted probably around Tuesday. But there is some people are doing, I hear saws in the background. I don't know if it comes across on the video or not, but the windows are down, even though it's a nice day. I want the windows down to keep the noise down, but that sawing over there is pretty loud. So hopefully it's not too distracting. Duda, like I said, only $127, 2 homers, 7 driven in. 6-9 against Collmenter. He's going to ground to second. And Chris Owings makes an easy play. 1 down for the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. And d'Arnaud hitting .286 in 35 at-bats, 2 homers, 3 driven in. One of the other moves the Mets made is they sent down Anthony Recker and called up Kevin Plawecki. So they changed backup catchers. 1-3 for d'Arnaud, and he fouls out to Lamb. That is out number 2. There was no rhyme or reason to that. It's just something they felt like they wanted to do. And with the injuries, they could have kept 3 catchers, but they really didn't think that was worthwhile. All right, here's Tejada. He's hitting only $147, no homers, 2 RBI, and 34 at-bats. It's a 6-6, and that's a split chance. 1's a triple, anything else will be a double. So Tejada, a 2-out double for Tejada. And he is aboard in scoring position with 2 outs. But then you've got Dilson Herrera making his season debut. It's going to be up to him to get it done. Has no average right now. In 2015, he had 90 at-bats and hit .211. Did have 3 home runs. So he's up, and Lagares is on deck. So Collmenter trying to settle in right here. Righty on righty matchup. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to short. Tejada, I forgot to see if he was being held or not. He was not. He's an E-stealer, only runs at a 12, so he would not have been held. So that way the plus sign does not come into play. It's just a regular ground out. Had he been held at second, that would have gotten through for a base hit, but they're not going to hold somebody that runs as slowly as Tejada. And that's going to end the inning. So 2 innings are in the books, no score from Citi Field. And hadn't been good with moving my pawns there like I should have been. It'll be Jared Saltalamacchia, the catcher, stepping up to the plate to lead off the top of the 3rd. Collmenter's on deck, and he does not have his own hitting card, so he is using pitcher hitting card number 3. He'll be on deck. Saltalamacchia, in just 12 at-bats, is hitting a $167, 1 homer, 4 driven in. He's been injured a little bit, so they've had to use Gosowicz, and they've had to use Castillo, and they've had to use Pacheco. Been a revolving door at catcher. 6-9, switch hitter batting left, but Saltalamacchia gets it done. Found the weak spot on Cindergard. 1-7 is a triple. And that is a triple for Saltalamacchia. I don't think he had any triples. He did not. I think on the computer game they would change that to a double, but I'm just playing the advance, so I'm going to play it as it lies to use a golf analogy. So Saltalamacchia will somehow leg this out for a triple. Not sure, like I said, not sure how. He's in strange territory being over here at third base. But he's at third with nobody out. And like I said, that's another one of the downfalls, I think, of the advanced game versus super advanced. I believe in super advanced, the computer would have adjusted that to just be a double. But like I said, we're doing the advanced, so that's the way it's going to go, is leadoff triple. Now, I don't think Collmenter, let's see, he's only a C bunter, so they're not going to try a squeeze or anything with nobody out. They're just going to let him swing away and hope he puts the ball in play. Met infield is in. It is in. 4-7. 4-7 struck him out, so it didn't matter. As Collmenter goes down on strikes. And we'll go back to the top of the order for Ender Inciarte. The infield is still in. With 1 out now. They will bring the infield in. Or keep the infield in, rather. Inciarte flew to center his first time up. 3-4, and that's a ground ball, pitcher B. So I believe they're going to, with the infield in and a B, I believe that gets the lead runner at the plate. Let's double check what the chart says. Ground ball B, runner on third is out. So how about that? Saltalamacchia went on contact, but the ground ball went right back to Cindergard. So Cindergard, an easy little toss there to d'Arnaud. They put the tag on Saltalamacchia, and he's out of there. Out number 2, Inciarte does reach first on the fielder's choice. Not sure if he would want to try to run in this situation. He is an A stealer, but They had Goldschmidt as an ace stealer get caught before, but stole 21 times, got caught 10. See how they want to play this. They're going to send him. They're going to go ahead and take a chance. So as an ace stealer, starts as a 15, being held -2 makes him a 13. Nothing on the arm of d'Arnaud. 1 to 13, and of course we're doing super advanced. Cindergard doesn't hold runners well, but that's not calculated in advanced. So it's a 1 to 13, and he'll be safe. And he's in there. Plus, it's a possible throwing error on d'Arnaud. With that 1 there, we look at d'Arnaud's T rating. And the T rating on Travis d'Arnaud, he is a T7. So if we roll a 1 to 7, this is going to get chucked into center field for an error. It does not. So Tejada was able to keep that from getting away from him, but it will be a successful stolen base for Inciarte as he takes the base, gets into scoring position with 2 outs for Nick Ahmed. So Nick Ahmed is your batter. Ahmed struck out his first chance. Inciarte will have to be held. 5-11, and that's danger for Cindergard. No ballpark effects. It's a straight 1 to 14. Ahmed does have normal power. So 1 to 14, it's a 2-run homer. And it is gone. Nick Ahmed just cracked a 2-run home run. And the D-backs just put a shock into the Citi Field crowd with Nick Ahmed's 2-run homer. So despite getting the runner thrown at the plate in Strat-O-Matic, Nick Ahmed comes through with home run number 3, RBIs 7 and 8. And the Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Syndergard has to shake that one off. Here's Goldschmidt. Singleton was caught stealing his first chance. To 4-9, and more trouble for Syndergard. 1 to 6 will be a double. 7 to 20 is your single. That is a single for Goldschmidt. He's not going to try to steal this time. He learned his lesson. But he is on base. 2-out single for Goldschmidt. And it looked like Syndergaard was going to get out of that after the force play, or the tag out the plate. Had 2 outs and a runner at first. Figured he was done for the inning, but Diamondbacks had other plans. Here's Pollock. He singled his first chance. 5-6, and that's a strikeout to end the inning, but damage done as the Diamondbacks 2-run homer off of Nick Ahmed, who had been struggling, but they put him up in the number 2 hole today, and so far it's worked out just fine. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-0 Arizona. And now the Mets with their work cut out for them. It'll be Lagares, Syndergaard. He does have his own hitting card, and Granderson. So Juan Lagares will start things off as the Mets are in catch-up mode. Lagares on the replay, hitting .263, a homer and 3 driven in. That's a 2-3, and that's a ground ball to first. It's a C, so of course we like to do that 3-1 as the first baseman Goldschmidt flips to Collmenter covering anytime it's a C or an X chance. All right, so that's out number 1. And now here's Noah Syndergaard. On the 15 season, he was a .209 hitter with a home run, so definitely as pitchers go, not too bad. But he is a pitcher. He is hitting left-handed, though. He throws right-handed, but hits left-handed, much like DeGrom does. So I got to keep an eye if we go to the pitcher card, use the left-hand side. And we will. 4-6, and that's a double 1 to 6 or single 7 to 20. That is a double for, a single for Noah Syndergaard. And I don't have runner markers for pitchers because they're pitchers. So I didn't really plan to do all that. So just know there's a runner on first base. In fact, I'll put him over here. So there's a runner on first base with 1 out for Curtis Granderson. An unlikely single there for Syndergaard. Granderson singled and was erased on a double play his first chance. 4-6 to the lefty, and that's more trouble. 1 to 6 is a double. 7 to 20 is a single. That is a single, but it's 2 stars. So Granderson gets himself a base hit, and all of a sudden the Mets looking to come right back. Have runners at the corners and only one out. And now what do you do if you're the Diamondbacks? You got the dangerous Murphy coming up. Looks like they're going to play for a double play. Granderson is being held at first base. But they're looking to turn two. Murphy's got some good ground ball A's on his card. So they're playing back for the double play. Collmenter 1-6, and it gets a pop out to second, so infield fly rule. And they get a big out there. Not a double play, but they get the out and the runner does not advance anywhere. So now it's up to Cadaire to get it done. Runners at the corners and 2 down. Collmenter 1 out away from getting out of this mess. That's a 3-7, and he struck out Cadaire to end the inning. So how about that? Collmenter does the job and keeps the Mets off the board. And Cindergaard's not too happy. He was hoping for some run support. Didn't happen. And that's going to do it for the Mets. We go to the 4th. Still 2-0 favor of Arizona. And it'll be Lamb, Trumbo, and Owens scheduled for the Diamondbacks. If Diamondbacks win this game, they'll improve to 9-10. The Mets will drop to 12-7. They'd only be 3 games out. So they definitely don't want to fall 5 games back, which would happen with a loss. So pressure's on Arizona to stay relevant. Here's Lamb. 6-11. Again, 6-12 is the injury check. 6-11, however, is a strikeout. So no problem there. 1 away as he is retired. Mr. Lamb. That'll bring up Trumbo. 4-11, and that's 4-11 is a single. So Trumbo comes through, and he's not a very good base runner whatsoever. He runs as an E, so he will not be held. He's more of a lumberer around the base paths, but he is on the base paths. That's the important part. He is aboard. He is aboard on that single. And it'll bring up Chris Owens. Owens popped to short his first time up. Trumbo, of course, will not be held. 4-6, struck him out. 2 down, and that brings up Strat-O-Matic. See what he can do. Strat-O-Matic had that unusual and an unlikely triple off the pitcher card, Cindergard, as he found that 6-9 result. So Cindergard trying to keep away from 5-9 and 6-9. 4-12 against a switch hitter batting left is a ground ball first base X. First baseman is Duda. Duda's a 3. 3-18 is good, and that's going to end the inning. And again, off an X chart, we'll call it that he flips to Syndergard covering. Not that it matters, but just because. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-zip. Favor of Arizona. Collmenter back out. And Duda, who just made that nice play, will lead things off for the Mets. Duda grounded to second his first chance. 112, he will hit a low max, but nobody's on base, so it's just simply a line out to second base. Owens puts it away, 1 down. For the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. 2-8 for d'Arnaud. That's a 1-13 home run chance. 14-20, it's going to stay a double. That is gone. Travis d'Arnaud, home run. The Mets are on the board as Travis d'Arnaud cranks a home run. And for d'Arnaud, that is his 3rd home run, 4th run batted in of the season. Gets the Mets on the board, cuts the lead to 2-1. And that brings up the shortstop, Ruben Tejada. Tejada hit a double his last time up. 2-5, and he will have a chance at a single, 1-4. Anything else, he will line it right to Owens. And he lines it to Owens for out number 2. That brings up Dilson Herrera. So for Herrera, His first chance up, he grounded to short. 5-5's right-hander, 5-5's a ground ball short again. This is Ahmed on an X chance. Ahmed's a 2. 2 and an 8. Might get that. Might go to his error. That's going to go to his error chance. On 8 through 12 goes to an error chance. Ahmed's error rating is an E18, and that's a 6. E18 and a 6 for a shortstop is a ground ball A. It's a good play. So Ahmed up to the task, makes the play to end the inning. But the Mets do cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. After 4 complete, we go to the 5th. Cindergard back out. We'll be facing Collmenter to lead off the inning. Cindergard and Collmenter both have fatigue numbers of 6. So they're still good for a little bit more. So Cindergard will be facing his counterpart Collmenter. He struck Collmenter out his first chance. 110, and that's a single. Off pitch hitting card number 3. That is a single for Collmenter. So again, I don't have the base runners for the pitcher hitting, for the pitchers that are hitting. And so we're just going to put a pawn there. But how about that? Of course, he will not be held. That's kind of a given. All right, here's Inciarte. 1-6, that's a ground ball pitcher B, fielder's choice. So they erase Collmenter at second base, and the new runner at first is Inciarte. Now, Inciarte did steal second his last chance up. Let's see how they want to play this. Let's see here what they want to do. First, need to put this in the computer as a fielder's choice. Out goes 1-6. All right, they're going to hold Inciarte this time. Look at Ahmed swing. Ahmed hit that two-run homer last time, so they're going to let Ahmed swing away. Inciarte, of course, will be held. There's now 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th, 2-1 Diamondbacks. It's a 1-9, and that's a strikeout. So Ahmed out on strikes. It's been feast or famine for him. He struck out twice and hit a home run. So it's all or nothing. And that'll bring up the dangerous Goldschmidt. And Goldschmidt has singled twice. 2 for 2. 6-2, and that is a 1-10 single. Anything else, it's a ground ball to Murphy at third. And Murphy will get it and go the short way to second for the fielder's choice. It goes 5-4, and that's going to end the inning. So that is going to be it for the Diamondbacks. They're unable to cash in with any runs. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-1. Arizona with that slim lead. And now Collmenter back out. Will be facing Lagares, Syndergard, and Granderson. So Juan Lagares grounded to first, his first chance. 110, and he's going to ground to short this time around. So Nick Ahmed, easy play. 1 down. And that brings up Cindergard, who had that base hit his first time up. Batting 1,000 right now. 1-6, and he's going to continue to bat 1,000. Another single. So Cindergard 2 for 2, and of course, like I said, don't have the little nameplate for him because he's a pitcher. So I didn't print any for pitchers. Figured I didn't need them for pitchers, but there you go. All right, so he's obviously not being held on first. Here's Granderson. 1-8 for Granderson. That's a fly to center for out number 2 as Pollock puts it away. 2 down, and that's going to leave it up to Mr. Murphy. Playing third base today. And Murphy is 0 for 2. He's flown to left and popped to second. 6-4 versus a lefty is a fly ball to right. That's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Mets here in the 5th. Collmenter pitching very well. Well, Cindergard just made one mistake as well. That one home run ball was all he gave up. So both pitchers pitching on their game pretty well. We go to the 6th. It's 2-1 Arizona. And this is the fatigue inning for both starting pitchers coming up. And leading off for the Diamondbacks will be Pollock. And Pollock, so far, he is 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd, struck out to end the 3rd. 5-8, and that's another strikeout. He just missed a home run chance on the 5-9. But the 5-8, he is retired on the K. And that brings up Jake Lamb. Lamb flew to center in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. 0 for 2, 2-4. Grounds it to first. Had a lot of hits in column. I'm sorry, 2-4, not 1-4. 2-4 is a ground ball back to Cindergard. So that's out number 2. Easy play there for Noah Syndergaard. And it'll bring up Trumbo. 2 outs, base is clear. That's a 6-7 off of Syndergaard. Ground ball second base X. That's Dilson Herrera. And Herrera is a 3 as a defender. 16, 3 and a 16, I do believe is a good play on the range. 3 and a 16 is a ground ball C, which is all you need at that point. And that'll end this top of the 6th. D-backs come away empty-handed once again. So Syndergaard good through 6 innings. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It will also be Collmenter's fatigue inning coming up. This probably is going to be the last inning for Collmenter. He is scheduled to bat 3rd next inning. And he's kind of in between a starter and a reliever, so probably going to limit him to 6 innings. Syndergaard may probably, you know what, we'll probably limit Syndergaard to 6 as well because it's his first start of the season, so he's probably not stretched out yet. So to be realistic, we'll try to do that. So here is Michael Cadaire. Cadaire 0 for 2. He's hitting to a double play and he struck out. 2-8, and he's going to ground it right back to Collmenter. 1 away for Lucas Duda. 3-5 for Duda, struck him out. So not a good start for the Mets here as Collmenter looks like he wants to finish in style. And it's going to be Travis d'Arnaud. His home run is the only run of the game for the Mets thus far. Maybe he can do it again. Or would that be asking too much? 4-7. Yeah, he's not going to get a home run, but he will get a base hit. 1-3 is a single. I'm sorry, 1-3 is a double. 4-20 is a single. It's a single for Travis d'Arnaud. So d'Arnaud comes through with a 2-out single. And he does not run well at all, so he will not even be held. But he is on base. And that's the first notch on the point of weakness of Collmenter. But like I said, I think this is his last inning anyway, so it shouldn't matter. Here is Tejada. Rest rolls, I forgot to mention on rest rolls, John Mayberry Jr. had to rest for the Mets and Gosewich had to rest for Arizona. So once we get to the 7th, they can both come back in, but I don't think there's any rush to bring either one of them in right now. So here is Tejada, d'Arnaud not being held on first. And that is a 1-7. Ground ball to short. It's a plus there, but since d'Arnaud's not being held, that's just going to be an easy play. They're going to go 6-4 for the force play to end the inning. So Collmenter and Syndergard both finish in style as they get through 6 innings. And it's merely a 2-1 game. So let's see who the Mets want to bring in out of their bullpen. Let's bring the bullpen card back into play. You can see who they have available. So let's see who the Mets have that they may want to bring in. The Diamondbacks are scheduled to have Owens, righty, Strat-O-Matic, a switch, and the pinch hitter, which could be left or right. And they've got mostly righties on the bench, so I think the Mets are going to a right-hander. Looks like it's going to be Hansel Robles. I believe it will be Hansel Robles. So Hansel Robles will get the call. So we will scratch him off the available list. So Hansel Robles, there will be no double switch. He's going to just pitch his 1 inning. He is set to bat 4th next inning. Actually 3rd next inning. So he's going to pitch his 1 inning, and that's going to do it for him. So Robles is going to come on, and we'll get the numbers on Cindergard and give you his final particulars for this ball game and his first start of the season. We get to the box score on the computer, and it'll tell me that. So for Noah Syndergaard, he goes 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. So quality outing for Mr. Syndergaard. But he will leave with a no decision. Actually, if the Mets... No, he can't because he's the home pitcher, so he can't do it. Collmenter could actually get the win if the Diamondbacks score this inning. Let's see what they want to do with... Well, obviously Collmenter is going to be pinch hit for, so he's done. And they'll need a new pitcher there. We also need a pinch hitter for Arizona. So let's see. We got Owens, Strat-O-Matic, and a pinch hitter. And that may depend on the base running situation. So we'll hold off on announcing that just yet. Want to see who's going to be on base and who's not going to be on base. So Chris Owens will be in to face Robles. Robles on the replay, 1-1 with a 2.57 ERA, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So Robles is the pitcher of record right now for the Mets. 5-5, and he struck him out. So Robles off to a good start, getting the K on Chris Owens. 1 away for Strat-O-Matic. And if we get to 2 outs and the base is cleared, that might affect the pinch hitting decision. They may go for somebody like Yosmani Tomas, who has a little bit of power, or they might go for somebody with better average if somebody's on base. Strat-O-Matic, 2-6. He strikes out. So how about that? Robles comes in and strikes out the first 2 he faces. And now that will bring on Yosmani Tomas to pinch hit for the Diamondbacks. As the base is clear and 2 outs, they're looking more for a power threat. So Tomas pinch hitting here in the top of the 7th. And we'll get the numbers on Tomas as soon as I put him in the game. So Yosmani Tomas on the replay is hitting .259, a homer, and 5 runs driven in. See what he can do against Robles, who struck out the first 2 he has faced. So he's red hot. He's Robles. 6-5. 6-5 is a fly to left, so it's not a strikeout, but it's an easy out. And the D-backs go very quietly here in the 7th. As Robles did his job, pitched 1 inning and faced just the 3 batters, the minimum, and got the job done. And then now the Diamondbacks will have to come up with a new pitcher. And while they're making that decision, we are at the 7th inning stretch. So I definitely want to stretch myself. Been sitting here a few minutes, so I definitely want to do a stretch. Hopefully we're not sawing to the 7th inning stretch. We'll try something else in the 7th inning stretch and see how that goes. All right, now we'll stretch a little bit and look over the bullpen for Arizona. See who their best prospects are. As I try to stretch a little bit, loosen things up. Let's see, we have Herrera righty, followed by Lagares, a righty, and a pinch hitter. And except for Nieuwenhuis and Munoz, all the other pinch hitters are right-handed. But I guess they're going to go with Nieuwenhuis, the one lefty off the bench. So that's who they'll pinch hit with, is Nieuwenhuis. But I think either way, they're still going to go with a righty out of the pen. And that right-hander appears to be, let's see who's got the least amount of innings. They're all about roughly the same, but it looks like going to go to a guy that's going to get traded to the Mets in a little bit, and that is Addison Reed. So Addison Reed is your new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He will eventually get traded to the Mets later on. Not sure exactly the dates on that. I'll have to look those up. But we'll scratch off Addison Reed from the Arizona bullpen list. So Addison Reed is on, and I'll give you the numbers on Collmenter, who went 6 innings and ended up facing 24 batters, just like Cindergard did. But let's get the numbers on Collmenter for this particular ball game. Collmenter went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits and a run, no walks and 2 strikeouts. So neither pitcher gave up a walk. Neither starting pitcher has given up a walk in this game. In fact, I don't think there have been any walks in this game. There have not. Very unusual to go this far with no walks. But the control has been there for both pitchers. So Addison Reed on the replay is 1-0 with a 3.24 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 walks, and 11 strikeouts. And we are in the 7th inning, so that means, like I said, anybody off the bench is available. But with the injuries that the Mets have, they're two of their better players that they would think about, David Wright and, of course, their shortstop Flores. They don't have them, so they're just going to have to stick with who they've got for now. Try to get through this. So Herrera against Addison Reed. 6-7, and look at this. Off of Reed, that's a base hit for Dilson Herrera. It is going to be a leadoff single for Dilson Herrera. So his first game, and he gets his first hit of the season. He's now 1 for 3, but he gets the hit. He's a C stealer, so he will have to be held, but he's not going to try to go anywhere. But he is aboard on a leadoff single. Now the question is, do you bunt with Lagares? He's only a C bunter, so I think they're going to have him swing away. Herrera will have to be held. Reed, 5-3. It's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 3. And an E0. 3 and a 19. He was hoping to go to his E-check because E0 would have been great. But it's a 19 and a 3. It's a ground ball C, so it's going to advance the runner. How about that? It acted just like a sacrifice. Anyway, ground ball C. So that play is going to go 1-3 as Herrera scoots over to second base with 2 down. And now we'll get the pinch hitter. Lefty hitting, the only lefty off the bench, Kirk Nieuwenhuis. Not a very good hitter, but that's the only lefty they got, so they're playing percentages. So let's get the numbers on Nieuwenhuis for the replay. They aren't pretty, I don't believe. So on the replay, Nieuwenhuis hitting a .135 in 37 at bats, no homers and 1 run driven in. So they've given him chances, he just hasn't come through very often. 160, he won't come through here either, he strikes out. So Nieuwenhuis, not one of the guys they like to go to very often, but they were trying to play the percentages and it just didn't work for them. So Nieuwenhuis is out on strikes for out number 2. But they do have Curtis Granderson coming up, and he can certainly tie the game or put the Mets ahead with 1 swing of the bat. Herrera will not be held on second. 6-8, and that's a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Owens. He's a 3. 3 and an 8. We'll see if he gets to that or if it's an error check for a second baseman. Whoops, wrong side. Second baseman, a 3 and an 8 goes to his error check. Anything 8 to 12. So we go to the error check on Aaron Hill. I'm sorry, on Owens. Chris Owens is an E6. E6 and a 6. And that's a ground ball A. So he's a pretty good fielder. And he came through right there and gets the D-backs out of the jam. Herrera stranded on base. That's going to end the inning. That's all for Addison Reed. He's more of a one-inning pitcher. He goes 1 inning, faces 4 batters, gives up a hit and nothing else with a strikeout. So we go to the 8th, and we need a new pitcher for the Mets as they pinch hit for Robles. So we'll see who the pinch hitter is going to be. Or the new pitcher, rather, not a pinch hitter. Coming up for the Diamondbacks, it'll be the top of the order, Inciarte, Ahmed, and Goldschmidt. So one lefty, but a whole lot of righties right behind him. So let's see who they want to go to here. See who they might give a shot at. They're going to go to, they're going to go to Eric Goodell, a right-hander. So Eric Goodell, no relation to Roger. Eric Goodell is on. And he'll be facing the top of the order. We'll get the numbers for Goodell on the replay. Goodell on the replay is 0-1, but his ERA is only 1.59, so very good there. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, a walk, 8 strikeouts. And it's a tie game as we go to the 8th. I'm sorry, it's 2-1 Arizona as we go to the 8th. So Collmenter still in the thing to be the winner. And Cindergard, I said at first he had no decision, but he's actually scheduled to be the loser unless the Mets come back and tie the game at some point. So here's Inciarte against Goodell. Top of the 8th, 2-1 D-backs. 1-8, ground ball to short. And Tejada's right there. 1 down. And it brings up Nick Ahmed. He's responsible for both runs for Arizona. That 2-run homer he hit back in the 3rd inning. 2-6, and he's going to pop it up to short. That's out number 2 as Tejada puts that one away as well. So the Mets pitching is doing all right. It's just their offense has gone dormant. Here's Goldschmidt. .111, and he just missed a home run on a 110. 111, super advanced, he'd have a home run chance, but not in advance. It's simply a deep fly to left. And that's going to end the inning. So Goodell does his job. He might actually go 2 innings. We'll see. He's not scheduled to bat anytime soon, and he's got a pretty good fatigue rating of 2. So I think they're going to have Goodell, pitch the 9th as well. Depending on what they do here in the bottom of the 8th. If they take the lead, of course, they'll bring in Familia. So now the Diamondbacks need to bring in a new pitcher. Coming up for the Mets, it'll be Murphy, Cadaire, and Duda. 2 out of 3 lefties, so they will go to the bullpen for a lefty. And let's see if they want to go to Perez or Chafin. We'll see who they decide to go with. They're going with Oliver Perez. So we bring Perez. One of their lefties gets scratched off. So Oliver Perez will be coming on. We'll get his numbers for you. He's 1-0 with a 2.57 ERA. 7 innings pitched, 9 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. He's trying to keep it close, and they'll bring in, if they have the lead in the 9th, they'll bring in Ziegler to try to close it. But right now it is the venerable Oliver Perez. He's been around a while. So lefty on lefty matchup, Perez against Murphy. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Diamondbacks. 4-9, and that's a strikeout. So Perez gets the strikeout. Didn't even have Murphy's card up there, but really didn't need it because it came off of the pitcher card. So 1 away. And that brings up Cadaire. 3-2 against the lefty. He's going to ground to short. Ahmed is there, 2 down. And it's Lucas Duda. Another lefty on lefty matchup, but he can hit the long ball if he gets that column 1. He's capable. And he did get column on 1-7. It's a double. So Lucas Duda hits a 2-out double. And he is the tying run with Travis d'Arnaud, the right-hander, coming up. The Diamondbacks are going to go to the bullpen. As Perez couldn't get through the whole inning, they're going to bring in a right-hander to face d'Arnaud. And that right-hander is going to be Daniel Hudson. They could almost bring in Ziegler to try for an extra out save, but I think, you know what? That's what they're going to do. They're going to bring in Ziegler and ask him to get 4 outs. It's an important game. They don't want to blow it. At least not in their mind. They don't want to blow it. So they're going to the pen. And they're going to get their closer, Brad Ziegler. No double switch because the pitcher spot not coming up for a while. So Ziegler is in the game on the replays, 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA. He does have 6 saves, tied for league lead in that category. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. So Ziegler, right now they're playing the best chess piece on the board they have, and they are going for it. They're not going to dilly-dally around. Perez goes 2/3 of an inning and gives up the 1 hit with that double, facing 3 batters. So Ziegler is on to face d'Arnaud in a big spot. d'Arnaud, the home run, responsible for the Mets' only run. He's looking to drive home the Mets' second run as well. Duda at first base runs at a 10 and an E, so he's not very good. Do you pinch run for Duda is the question. They could think about pinch running for Duda, but do they have anybody to play first base? Campbell could play first base, but they really have no speed on the base. The only speed they had was Neuenhuis. They've already used him as a pinch hitter, so they're kind of stuck with Duda at this point. Duda will not be held as a poor base runner. So here it is, d'Arnaud, Ziegler to d'Arnaud. 3-7, and it's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. Mets come away empty-handed as Ziegler shuts him down. And he will be asked, like I said, to get that 4-out save. Cadaire will be coming right back in. He pitched very well. There's no sense taking him out to start the 9th. And he will be facing Pollock, Lamb, and Trumbo. Top of the 9th, 2-1 Diamondbacks holding on to this tight game here in this first matchup of Series 7. All right, Pollock against Cadaire. Cadaire pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning, so he's still good to go. 2-9, and a ground ball to short. Lots of hits in column 2, but he found the ground ball to short. And Tejada makes quick work of Pollock. 1 away for Jake Lamb. Lamb is 0 for 3. 6-8 against Cadaire. He struck him out. Now he's 0 for 4. So Lamb continues to struggle. Brings up Trumbo. And I believe they're going to pinch hit for, or not pinch hit, but make a defensive substitution in the bottom of the 9th because Trumbo's an awful outfielder. So I believe they're going to go to somebody else, but we'll see. They may not. They really, all these guys here are really infielders though, so I don't know if they can go to the outfield and bring somebody else in. They might even bring in Pennington. He's got to be better than Trumbo. But we'll see. First of all, Trumbo's going to hit. That's a 6-7, struck him out. He's not tired, so the dot doesn't hurt him. So Cadaire pitches 2 shutout innings and retires all 6 he faces by striking out 2 of them. So how about that? So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Mets against the closer Ziegler. And due up for the Mets, it'll be Tejada, Herrera, and Lagares. Let's check the defense for the Diamondbacks and see if they have anybody at all they can bring in that's better than Trumbo. Pennington is a 4, E25. Let's see, anybody else? I don't think they have anybody else that can play the outfield. Not that I can see anyway. Yeah, they're going to bring in Pennington. Pennington replaces Trumbo in the order. Just for defensive purposes, he's a 4 instead of a 5. That's the only difference. But he's got a higher error rating, so that could come back to bite him too. But they're going to take the chance and put in Pennington in left field. So he's in left field. See what he can do as a left fielder. He's an E16 in left field, so that's not that good, but he's a 4 rather than a 5. All right, Mets off their bench have Plawecki, Campbell, Mayberry, and Munoz. But are any of them better than Tejada, Herrera, and Lagares? Now, the pitcher spot does come up fourth, so they will need somebody to hit for the pitcher if somebody gets on base. Probably would be Campbell, but we'll see. Right now, it is Ruben Tejada to lead off the bottom of the ninth. 2-1 Diamondbacks in a tight one here to start Series 7. 5-9, and that's a ground ball to short. Nick Ahmed is there. One shortstop retires the other. Out number 1. Ziegler trying to push through and get that 4-out save. Here's Herrera. Herrera is 1 for 3. Does have a good column 1. And he found column 1. 1-5 is a walk. So Herrera draws the walk. Not a very good, he's an okay base runner. He's a C. He's certainly not going to try to steal. And I don't know if they have anybody, like I said, most guys on the bench don't run that well either. So they're going to keep him on first base. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. But he does run at least well enough to be held on. And now Ziegler facing Lagares. Lagares needs something. He's 0 for 3 and he hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield yet. 6-4. Fly ball center field X. So we'll get it this time. Center fielder is Pollock. He's a 1. 1 of 3, he will make the catch. That's the benefit of being a 1 in center field. Makes the tough catch, but covers a lot of ground out there. So Mets are down to their final out. And it is the pitcher spot, so they will need a pinch hitter. And this is where you really get into trouble because you really don't have a whole lot on the bench. That was a fly ball C, by the way, to be official. But the runner at first, it didn't really matter. So pinch hitting time for the Mets, and we'll see who they want to go to. Available to them, Campbell, Mayberry, Plawecki, and Munoz. Campbell was a 197 hitter on the season. Mayberry a 164 hitter. Plawecki 219. Munoz 148. So they're going to go with Plawecki, even though that's all they got is righties. Munoz is a switch, but we go with the higher average Plawecki, even though he's not very good. And it is his first game since being called back up. So he will be asked to do something in a big spot. Kevin Plawecki, the pinch hitter here with 2 outs in the ninth. Pinch hitting for Goodell. Ziegler looking for that 4-out save. Herrera is being held at first. Ziegler 4-7. Ground ball to short, that's going to do it. Ahmed will flip to second, going the short way for the force. 6-4 put out, and the ball game is over as the Diamondbacks take game 1 of the series and pulled up within 3 games of the Mets with a 2-1 victory, a very tight and tidy 2-1 victory. And I'll go to the box score and get the totals. Winners, losers, left on base, all that good stuff. All right, so Collmenter is your winner. He improves to 3-1 on the season. Cindergard, the tough luck loser, of course, 0-1 as this is his first start. And Ziegler picks up save number 7. He now leads the league with 7 saves. He just surpasses Familia, who had 6. Ziegler had to go an inning and a third to do it. Get that 4-out save. But he did it. Totals on the game for the Diamondbacks, 2 runs. Whoops, put it up here. 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. They left on 4. For the Mets, 1 run, 9 hits, no errors. They left on 8. So left on base a bugaboo for the Mets, for sure. That certainly hurt their cause. And it's a 2-1 victory, so the Mets now drop to 12-7. Diamondbacks improved to 9-10. And the next video in the Demolition League, we'll look ahead to matchup number 2 in Series 7. And matchup number 2 in Series 7, we'll have the Tampa Bay Rays against the Cleveland Indians. That's the next video in the Demolition League. And then later matchups, Cincinnati at San Francisco, Houston's at Seattle, and Philadelphia will be at Boston. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Strat-O-Matic 2015 Demolition League. Whether you're a Met fan or not, hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a nice, tidy pitcher's duel. Let's see what we're doing for time here. A little over an hour, because I did a little preambles and some other things. So 2-1 ball game, so I'm glad it was less scoring. That way it didn't last an hour and a half. But hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that. I missed being away from the Demolition League, that little week or so break of finishing up Series 6 offline and getting things lined up for Series 7. That break was needed and was something to keep the league fresh. Now we're starting, it's almost like NASCAR, where they have the race divvied up into different sections. This is like section 2 now, because the first section was the first 90 games. Second section is the next 90 games, and the final section is the final 90 games. So we're starting the second round of 90 game schedule to finish up our 270 games that are needed to complete the project. So that's going to do it from here. Final score again: Arizona 2, Mets 1. Collmenter the winner, 3-1. Cindergard the loser, 0-1. Ziegler save number 7. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.